New York is the most famous, largest, and most populated city in the United States. New York City, with 274 skyscrapers, more than 150 meters high, is a city full of skyscrapers that, after Hong Kong, has the highest number of skyscrapers in the world. According to 2007, New York has a population of about 20 million, including the suburbs. The city is one of the world's cultural, political, and economic hubs that everyone calls the capital of the world. It's because of New York's unique political, economic, and cultural significance. The New York City train, which opened in 1904, has the most metro station in the world, as well as a stock exchange is the world's largest stock market in dollar trading on Wall Street. Maybe you have heard all these articles before, but what's the point? What's an interesting articles about New York? Well, let's take a look at some of interesting tips about New York that you may not have heard before. Number 1. Race diversity in New York. New York is one of the most diverse cities in the world in terms of race and language. The people of this city speak more than 200 different languages. If you live in New York, you are faced with people who speak a language you have never heard of before. Some people claim that there are more than 800 languages in New York, but no evidence supports these statistics. Yet even 200 different languages in the city are astounding statistics. Number 2. Most filmed in the world in Central Park. One of the most famous parks in the United States and the world, Central Park is located in New York. It's interesting to know that 42 million people visit Central Park in New York every year. Of course, interesting knowledge about Central Park of New York is not just about the statistics of tourists visiting it, but also many world records, the most important of which we can point to the records for the most filmed world in this park. So far, more than 532 feature films have been filmed in Central Park. Number 3. Einstein's eyes on watching New York. You must have heard a lot about extracting Einstein's brain and keeping it in a strange museum called the Matter Museum in Philadelphia. But the point is that in addition to the brains, his eyes have been locked in New York for years. The great scientist's eyes were stolen after his death and are currently being held and safe in place in the city. The owner of the safe is a man named Henry Brahms, who had been Dr. Einstein since 1939. In addition to Einstein, the organs of important people such as George Washington and Napoleon Bonaparte were also kept in New York. New York City rich. More than 1 million of New York's population are wealthy. In other words, 1 in 21 people in New York is a millionaire. Are you surprised? No city in the world has millionaires like New York City. After New York, the cities of Tokyo, Los Angeles, Hong Kong, and London are in other ranks of the richest cities in the world. According to the latest surveys in 2021, in America's list of 400 wealthiest individuals, more than 60 people lived in New York. Number 5. Largest gold reserve. As we said earlier in the statistics of wealthy in New York, it's not bad to say a little bit about the city's huge gold reserves. 25% of the world's golden gauge are stored in Wall Street reservoirs. This is the location of the Federal Reserve Bank of America. This massive treasury is the largest gold reserve in the world, so it's heavily protected from about 497,000 gold bullion in the city. The gold weight of this massive treasure is more than 6,200 tons. The location is about 24 meters below the street and 50 meters below sea level. Number 6. No beeping. If you have been to New York, you are undoubtedly heard car beeps on the street thousands of times. But you should know that beeping in New York is forbidden. Beeping for greeting and saying goodbyes or unnecessary cases in being prosecuted in New York. And any driver in any circumstances who beeps must have a compelling reason for doing so himself. The latex effect more stricter between 23:30 and 7 o'clock. Last word. Today everyone knows where New York is and what it's like. But in this article we have looked at some interesting facts from New York, America, that certainly not everyone knows about. In general, New York City is one of the most popular cities in the world, where many people are interested in traveling and living. Finally, if you also know an interesting point about this densely populated and famous city or have had experience traveling to it, you can share your information with us in the comment section below. New York City has many world-class cultural attractions. The Statue of Liberty, Central Park of New York, and other places attract many tourists worldwide. The United Nations is located in New York metropolis. Also, the Statue of Liberty is the most important symbol of the United States of America, located in New York. It's a gift from France that welcomes many tourists every year. New York City is the commercial heart of the United States. The World Trade Center was located in the Manhattan area. Also, John F. Kennedy International Airport, one of the three largest New York City international airports, the Wall Street Journal economic newspaper, NASDAQ, and the stock market is located in New York City. If you have never traveled to New York, I hope you can travel to this great and spectacular city.